Welcome to the fight game. He's Icewater. I'm Puma, and let's talk about the bouts that happened over the weekend. You have Benavidez, who just tore down Yarde. What was in that fight? To retain the WBC light heavyweight crown. I know we had a discussion offline about him or Canelo, and we've had this discussion for months now, but I'm going to put it out here right now. They're talking about Canelo and Crawford again. I couldn't hold. I couldn't hold. I don't think it should happen. I think it's going to be part two, Aspen part two, but they're talking about it again. And maybe Canelo doesn't want to fight anybody else. Your thoughts on the fight with Benavidez? Because I think Benavidez should be the one that he fights.
You're gonna start this way, huh?
I
Okay.
know, I know. I promised I wasn't going to do it, but I had to do it. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it, brother. I could not hold it.
Well, let's start with Benavidez. He was very impressive in this fight, but I think he was facing an opponent that was not on his level. Not his fault. He has to fight who he needs to fight in order to keep moving up, to stay sharp until one of the big fights come along.
Right.
He was just masterful with it to the point where he looked as if Benavidez, that is, looked like he was on a video game. He was punching the guy so hard and so fast when he was holding him with one hand. He just kind of destroyed the guy. The guy was not on his level,
He
and
had
that's how
like how many left hooks that he hit this guy with in one round. I was like, wow.
it was a lot. It was a lot, but that just showed you that the guy wasn't on that level. He hit hard, and he was actually a pretty good fighter as far as record was concerned. But you could just tell after a little bit that he didn't belong on that level. So, but it's okay. He came in with a game plan, and Benavidez finished it, and that was enough. So he shows you that he's going to keep working to move up. I think he still wants one of those marquee fights at that 175. There's talk that he may try to jump up the cruiserweight and test somebody, but we know what it is. It's that Bivol and Beterbiev, and I don't know whether he's going to get one of those fights. So we'll see.
Ohio's own Abdullah Mason survived a savage fight. He looked like he was in a fight, and he was like, "Hey, I fought his fight, and it was savage." But he proved that he's a gamer. He can go in there and bang with the best of them, and he wins the vacant WBO lightweight title. Your thoughts on this fight?
The one thing about this fight, which is very interesting to me, and I understand everybody has their opinion, but people were acting as if Abdullah Mason fought a bad fight. Now, granted, he could have moved around because Sam Noakes is a straightforward guy, kind of like old school Rocky, coming at you, gonna hit you with a couple elbows, and he punches real hard. And he's gonna try to walk right through you. And if you get in the corner, he will come for you, and he will also try to be a physical force. He did all that to Abdullah Mason. In fact, Abdullah Mason was pushing forward, and somehow or another, Noakes got cut in his eye, and there's an accidental headbutt. But he kept fighting on because he was bleeding profusely for a while until they contained it. But people were acting as if Abdullah Mason fought a bad fight. If a person's coming straight forward and directly at you and throwing everything at you but the kitchen sink, to think you can just move around the box and do what Terence Crawford did to Canelo, that's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Especially when you're like 21 years old and this is your first title bout, and this guy's undefeated too, and he's a veteran, he's a little older than you, and he thought that his experience and him being able to roughhouse you as a so-called grown man with his grown man strength was going to put you in your place. So Abdullah Mason was surviving. He did it well. He was punching. And he was delivering some shots. He was delivering some nice uppercuts. He was firing back when he had to, and he was getting hit. He was taking a lot of punishment. People were saying he should have used more of a boxing style, but that's easier said than done, particularly when you're fighting a crafty veteran, a person that wants it just as bad as you, if not more, and you never been on this level with this type of fighter before. Granted, yeah, the corner was telling him, you need to fight like we've been wanting to do this and all. Okay, like I said, when you come into the ring, right? Everybody got a plan, right? Till you get hit, and then you be like, man, shit, that motherfucker. I'm just trying to survive. Well, you need to move over here to step 3 steps to the left, and then come back. Dude, I'm just trying to get through this, which he did. He won convincingly. And granted, maybe he will learn from this. So the next time he fights a brawler like that, he might have a better strategy or be able to put into work, put into place what was delivered to him in the corner. All I'm gonna say, easier said than done, and he got it done. Congratulations, champion. OH10 in the building, Ohio. Once again, congratulations, champ.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see him in the future. We saw him early on in his career and thought he was something special, and he is. And congratulations, champ. You have Jesse Bam Rodriguez defeats Puma, not me, but Puma Martinez. And so in a 10th round, they said it was a masterclass. This fight was a masterclass. And I know what you're going to say about Bam Rodriguez, but anyway, the fight.
I'm not, when I talk about Bam Rodriguez, I don't mean to put him down. It's not like I'm disrespecting him at all. He's a hell of a fighter. He was in there with Puma, the other Puma, and he literally just kind of walked him down and that's outclassed him. Puma tried to be strong and tough and all of the antics prior to the fight, but Bam Rodriguez just chopped him down and went to work and did some great things and showed how great of a fighter he is. Take no disrespect on that. But okay, that was just another guy, and I know they keep adding to his greatness to shining his crown. But we know what we need to see, man. Y'all need to stop playing. I mean, I'm not mad at him. I'm glad he won. But he said he's ready to move up and take on some new challengers after I think there's maybe one more belt he needs to grab in that 115 division because he wants to unify. Then he says he's ready to move up and everybody wants to fight the monster at 122. Well, before you do that, and maybe you may get to it after another guy faces the monster, Nakatani's at 118 waiting. So, as much as I like Bam and I want to give him kudos for what he's done, you want to see some real bad dudes that's really going to cement your legacy? They right there, 118, 122.
I'm thinking with Ben Rodriguez's camp, maybe they feel like he's not ready yet, and so they want to keep,
Okay.
working it and working it because you've been saying that for a long time. He ain't moving towards those two fights at all. So I'm thinking that maybe his camp knows, hey, we're gonna stay in this pocket right here until we feel that you're ready to go out there and challenge these guys because those would be great fights. But it just seems like they're not moving fast enough to get there. So maybe he's not ready.
He may not be ready, but I think the other thing too, they're probably looking at it. There's a chance that I think they're going to have Nakatani and also Inoue, aka the Monster, on the same card in December, right? Coming up next month. And I think at that point they're trying to set the stage for these two to fight in Japan in next summer or in the fall.
That'd be great.
And maybe Bam is just kind of treading, say I'm gonna go over here, unify this belt at 115. And by the time these two guys face off, maybe he'll get the winner. And then if he wins, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? But maybe he's not rushing because he wants them to kind of eliminate one another instead of getting exposed himself. But then again, he might fool me and he might beat both of those guys. But the way that, as you said, they were prolonging these opportunities, it's almost as if we're gonna let's sit back and see what happens. And that's fine, you can do that. But to keep hearing all this praise and I need to see him challenged. That's all I want. I mean, and he may win. I want to see him challenged. Like so many other boxers, we want to see them challenged. Fight some damn body that we know. And granted, maybe I'm just old, but I know there are two guys, as I said, 118, 122, that would allow you to show your greatness and improve on your legacy.
So Devin Haney beats Brian Norman Jr. And we talked about this a little bit earlier. I think Devin Haney, his father's cool. I like his father. I like how he pumps up his son and all that other stuff. But I think he needs a trainer that can help him really kind of change his boxing style up a little bit. And when he gets in trouble, to help him out. And we've talked about this before. It seems like when they get stuck, Papa Haney doesn't have any words to really help Devin Haney, and Devin Haney's in that ring by himself trying to figure it out. And so once you start fighting some of the meat of that division, you're going to need experienced guys in that corner to give him some instructions to win some of these fights. Now, the ironic twist of this, Ryan Garcia Jr. bet $50,000 on this fight and won. And so he's making money off Devin Haney, even not fighting Devin Haney. Your thoughts about this fight?
Yeah, I think I agree with you in regards to when Devin Haney moves up and starts to face more marquee talent, it will behoove him to have some additional help in the corner because there have been times, like for instance with the Lomachenko
Yeah.
fight, that there was no answer. Bill struggled with that, I think, but then again, that's his dad. Devin can do whatever he wants to, but there's been a few times where we watched where we thought he was in trouble
Even
or
with
he
Ryan
needed us.
Garcia, he had
Yeah,
no answers.
yeah, he had no answer. So, but I think in certain instances, like with Brian Norman Jr., he just, as I said before, I think experience goes a long way. And I think that Brian Norman Jr. had not been on that stage before. Is he strong? He's a physical monster. He hits real hard. But when you don't have that experience, sometimes it can affect you. And I think that's what Devin Haney used against him from the standpoint of moving around, making him miss. And I think Devin felt comfortable that he could almost hit him when he wanted to. Devin Haney can box. He's not really the biggest knockout artist in the world, but he can make great combinations. And I think the way that he was able to, if you will, flash knock down Brian Norman Jr. on the second round paid major dividends because once he saw, Haney is, saw that he could hurt him, his fear, it appeared like it left.
Yeah.
So it's like I can control this fight. I can do what I want to. So I show when I put him down. You notice when he put him down, he ran over to him and like was in his grill like this, kind of showing I'm boss. But I think that he was able to do that. And again, it has nothing to do with the talent of Brian Norman Jr. It's the factor that I think his lack of experience on that stage and not being when you face a quality fighter, even if you don't like Devin Haney, if you don't like him running and the way that he kind of took on that case versus Ryan Garcia, you still got to understand that he has major skills. And even though he may be a little lacking, have a little lacking in talent in his corner with his dad, his talent overall supersedes that. And when he's in the guy with a guy that he knows he's just better than and uses his skills correctly, there's not too many people that he can't beat. So I give him kudos for that, and I think that's what happened versus Brian Norman Jr.
All right, let's go back to the story we started out the show with. They're talking about Canelo and Crawford again. I don't think it will happen because Crawford doesn't want to stay at 168. And I know Canelo probably doesn't want to go down to 160. So, what do you think about this possible rematch with Crawford and Canelo?
I'll just say this: I'm not feeling it. If that's what they want to do and run it back and get some coin, if that's what Canelo wants to try to prove himself one more time, I was all for Canelo early because I thought Canelo, in regards to the championship, he was going to provide the type of show the type of skills that he had over the last 12 years, right? Where he was really only he's never going to stop. He's been banging, walking most people down, except for maybe Bivol. He's going all the way through and not seeing him really challenge, even though you can say Triple G, but did Triple G really was he really that exciting against Canelo? But Canelo had been beating people for years until he fought Terence Crawford, who fought a masterful fight. He literally beat him. He also just dissected him in a way that we haven't seen since Floyd. We haven't seen that. So kudos to Terence Crawford. But to think that Canelo now is going to resurface with this new game, it's not. He's the same guy. He's the guy. We know that now. I told you guys before. When he faces a mobile opponent that can move around and literally start to land punches, he's a statue because he's slower. He usually waits, gets to the later round. You get tired, or he feels like he can manhandle you, and he knocks you out. Caleb Plant. We go down the line, right? All those guys that Canelo was able to dominate before, but not with Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford's been there before. He will beat him again. He'll take the money. And as the man on top of the hill right now, if that's what you want to do, Terence Crawford, great. I think there's some more fights out there for you, even if you drop down a little bit or something else. But Yeah, I don't want to see the fight, but if you do fight him again, I'll watch it. But it does not have the significance to me or the quality that the first one did because there was still an unknown. He's already proven himself. He will do the same thing he did against Canelo. Canelo might be more, I would say, aggressive early to try to come after him more, which just means Terence Crawford is going to get on this bicycle a little bit more, and he may end it early because he knows that Canelo is going to be desperate. But that's what you guys want to do. Hey, I'll watch, I'll support it, I'll talk about it, but I'm not feeling it.
All right. Anything else you got, man?
So we are moving forward. And you got to give it up for Turkey LC for bringing that the way he did, because that was a hell of a card, especially that Abdullah Mason. I think there's a lot of guys out there that are really talking stuff. We got potential guys like Richardson Hitchens has been running stuff out, talking about that. You have a lot of number of guys waiting on possibly with Teofimo Lopez and my son Shakur Stevenson next year. A lot of big fights. Devin Haney, a lot of people have been calling him out, saying they think he's good, but they still think they would have a chance with him. We don't know what's going to happen. You got what? Rolly Romero's coming back. Still don't understand that. Garcia, really. But Ryan Garcia is going to be coming back. There's a lot of opportunities there for different people. So I think we had the opportunity to see some great fights. I want to see them move 135, 140, 147, 160. 168. There's a lot of talent, and I just mentioned four divisions. It's time to put some of these great fighters together and make it happen. You think about real quick, Boots Ennis, right? Now we're saying that Boots Ennis is ready to fight our guy who just won, and to the point of that, it's like Boots Ennis said, "Yeah, I'm ready," and Virgil Ortiz is like, "Yeah, I'll fight you," but then again, you're talking about I need to fight a tune-up. I want to do this now. Come on, man. You brought us all hyped up and everything. You get in here, have him get in the ring, and you guys sign the papers, and now you want to go another way to kind of make him wait because you're mad that he didn't take the fight when you wanted it. All politics, and the people are waiting. We as the people, we as the boxing fans, need to start demanding that these dudes get into the ring with somebody worthwhile, even including David Benavidez. Let's make 2026 worthwhile and memorable. You did a little bit 2025. Stop the BS and let's give the fans what they deserve.
Yeah, I know on December 6th in San Antonio, there's a big card coming up. We'll talk about in the next few weeks that is featuring Lamont Roach Jr. with Pitbull Cruz and Stephen Fulton and Shane Mosley Jr. So there's a lot of fights happening in December to close out the year. So we'll talk about that maybe next week. He's Icewater and Puma. This is the fight.